Hey, what's going on YouTube? Joe here from Metafish. Hey, I just want to do a super quick what's new video. We're going to go through the fish tanks pretty quick here today. I've been a little laid up for the last 2.5 weeks. Hurt my foot pretty bad. But I can finally start getting around, so huge shout out to my wife who's been taking care of a lot of the tanks and the fish. So yeah, let's get right into it. It's getting kind of late. We'll see how this goes. No change. Yellow Blaze litho bait still growing out. I got to do a definite clean on those guys. The angels spawned a couple days ago, so I got the eggs in a different tank. Blue dolphins. Sold a few rainbow fish. Shout out to Dylan and his crew for coming over. One of the Bosemani rainbows, two of the prey cocks, and 2 of the feather fins. Really cool fish, but really no change. They're just turning into adults, and I have to kind of get some spawning mops, get some stuff going with rainbow fish here. Fire Ugandas, need to clean that tank. Got to clean this tank and the filter, starting to get a little brown. Zebra obliquidans, ACIs. I thought they were sold to me as white-tipped ACIs, white-tailed ACIs, which, let's see if it'll zoom in here. See the yellow on that one? You can see the yellow, but they're still pretty white, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a little research on that. Give me a shout out if you know if white-tailed ACIs typically have a little bit of yellow, but they still got a little bit of growing to do. Not much in the shrimp tanks, just growing out some guppy grass and some lower pH water. Doing really poor on the Bloody Marys, haven't really given them any attention, and the black rose. Eventually I gotta give those guys some attention. Geophagus redhead top hose are getting some pretty good size here. 2.5 inches looks like. These guys are doing real good ever since I put the Apache peacocks in. We got VC10s and Chilotilapia utilis, which will be a big hap when they get older. Those are the ones with the horizontal bars through them. And then just some Apache peacocks, kind of as dither fish. And a couple of the males are looking alright. And these are my smaller last batch that I got of the Geophagus redhead tapajos. Okay, gonna go quick. These are more of the Sunshine Banga Dragon Blood mixes. Some really nice Apache hybrid peacocks in there. Blue dolphins. Got some of the Apache peacock dragon blood mixes in here. Need to do a little bit with them. And stripped a couple of the females from the Dimidochromis she's holding back there. And Apache hybrids look really cool. Got some cool pictures of the dominant male. Super nice fish. We'll see what he turns into. And middle row of tanks. Got to do a quick clean. They seem to get a lot of algae here. This light system that I have seems a little bright. I keep it on probably too long, 12 hours a day. Got to dial that back, but got Venustus. This is super cool. Finally bred my Julita chromis. You can see one of the little babies right there, getting some of the brine shrimp I just put in. But I've seen at least 6 of them, which means there's probably closer to a dozen. And first time breeding Julita chromis, so these are the Marlar eyes. So shout out to Anthony Naples. I think I started with 7 from him. And they all died, killed each other, except one pair, which works just fine for me. Need to clean the algae on this tank. Usually these guys are right at the front of the tank. Really nice Hippo Point salmon. Got 2 males in there, super colored up. But again, just the algae. It's not a dirty tank or anything. Just recently cleaned this tank and moved the fish to another tank I'll show you. So I got some grow outs in here. These are yellow dragon bloods and Venustus. And these are the Bosemani Lake Antinjo, doing just fine. And red, blue metallic guppies. No real change in these 2 tanks. So that's that rack. These angels are doing good. I still think they're 2 males. They beat on each other once in a while, but for the most part they do fine. This tank is getting really cool. These are my yellowhead Calvis. And look at this guy. He's trying to pick a female right now. He's been kind of nudging, getting a little aggressive with some of his other tank mates. But I'm really liking the way he's aggressive. He's not really hurting anybody. He's got this guy pushed up in a corner. But really no nipped fins or anything. He just kind of nudges them with his snout. I think he's making room. Oh, he's getting a little more aggressive now. But trying to get his lady. So I got 6 of them in here. And that would be... Been trying to get these guys to breed. I really apologize for the glare. It's horrible right now. But been trying to get these guys to breed for almost 2 years now. So I'm hopeful that something's going to happen in this tank pretty soon. These are the breeder fire red Ugandas. This is my breeder male. Really nice, doing fine. Alright, let's make it quick. The bristlenose pleco breeders, the super reds, and the long fins, doing fine. Doesn't look like anybody's in the caves right now. These are the Christmas Fulus from Lake Victoria. I got some more babies of those in the other room. Blue dolphins are doing good down here. I got to clean their filter here tonight probably. And they got that one kissing Gourami. He ends up getting enough food, it seems like, so no problems there. And these are the Tropheus Elangi for Aaron White. He already pre-purchased these. And these are the juveniles, close to 3 inches. They're already doing some breeding behavior, so hopefully he has some luck with them. He's getting the whole colony. And these are the black Acaras. So this guy's starting to get some color to him, some more adult colors. And the oh, it's been a long night already. The Cutteries, yeah. So those are the 2 fish in that tank, doing just fine. Starting to put some size on the black Acaras though. They started out super small, so they're getting about an inch and a half now. These are the Ruby Reds. So got some nice males coloring up in here. And those are close to 3 inches now, 2.5 at least. And the Omni Ceruleus doing just fine. These tanks haven't changed much. These are what I've pretty much confirmed are a hybrid, sold to me as a flameback Victorian, and I don't think they're a true flameback. After some more research, and Hippo Point Salmon's doing super good. Lots of holding females in here, 3 or 4, so I'm going to give them a couple weeks. They just spawned in the last couple days. You know, 1 or 2 of them might have spawned earlier, but for the most part, I noticed them all holding just a day ago. The Eastern Happy's doing pretty good. Got a holding female in the corner there. And yeah, super cool fish. And the multicolor Victorias, they just keep spawning. I actually let them spit not too long ago because I have quite a few of them. Again, another super cool fish, but I'm growing some out and you can only do so much. You run out of tanks, so nothing new in this tank. Old grumpy VC10 males doing just fine, getting along with the Apache peacocks. Got a couple holders. This Dragon Blood was holding, she's not holding anymore. And this is the male that breeds with most of them. He's colored way down. And got some cool pictures recently of the Yellow Blaze Lithobates. This male's finally starting to show some nice color. Hold his own against the Zebra Obliquidin right here. But that Zebra Obliquidin's kind of fired up right now. But I should probably check these girls over, see if there's any babies, because now that I know this Yellow Blaze Lithobate is pretty decent, I'd like to get some more fry. So, really cool fish. Kind of see them right there. They were pretty skittish for quite a while. I put the blue dolphins in here and they kind of, you know, more fish is usually a better deal. So there's 2. This is another male on the Yellow Blaze Lithobates. So he's the subdom and this is the dominant. And usually this guy doesn't, he was bright blue before. So that black kind of comes and goes just like the blue dolphins. No real change here. I haven't done too much work. Got some grow outs. These are snakeskin endlers. I got a batch of those outside growing out in 150 gallon. So I should have more of the snakeskins. Down here are grow out black bar endlers. So some of the males are starting to look pretty decent. And this is a matin filter and a sponge filter as well. These 3 tanks are all matin filters. I don't know if I love it, but I don't hate it. These are cherry shrimp with Monte Carlo endlers. I think it's Monte Carlo, but I started with only about 5 or 6, 1 female, and I've managed to grow the colony. They're a really pretty endler. I think these are my favorite endlers. And of course, they're my favorites, and they're the ones I have the least of. So, really pretty endler. I love that red on the whole bottom half. So yeah, hopefully I can grow that colony up some more. And here's one of the plecos trying to get a little bit of food. This is basically a mixed guppy tank. It's turned into that. This was blue-green metallics, and I have not culled enough. They are just kind of a mess. The lights have turned off on this rack, so haven't done a whole lot up here. These are the ruby greens. Got a couple nice males showing some color. They're ready for a bigger tank though. And Eastern Happies. Got a couple nice males and some holding females in here. And this mama finally gave me some babies, which is super cool. These are the IFGA purple guppies. The male is not the best showing of what the purple guppy should be, but she had birth to all these little guys right here. So I threw a snail in there to kind of clean up the algae. They do a great job on that. But she had that batch, and then she had this batch for me too. And I have another batch upstairs. So I started with 4 guppies, and right now I'm gonna guess I have probably 60. So building that colony, my yellow tuxedo guppies doing real good. Got some really nice males here. Beautiful yellow color with some green hues and white bodies. So I know the camera doesn't do them too much justice. And some snakeskin endlers. I have these in the 600-gallon hot tub pond. They are doing amazing out there. And I actually took a lot of the endlers from this tank to take to the 600-gallon hot tub. And these are my blue Moscow guppies. I also have these outside, and it looks like they have a lot of babies right now in a green water pond. I'll show you guys that in a future video. Trophies to Boise eyes are doing real good. They're awesome. But very little breeding behavior. I think they're getting a little long in the tooth. And I do apologize for the glare. But she might be holding. I always say that on video, and then it turns out I don't ever get any fry, but she might be. Come on, bounce the eggs. Let me know. No, I don't know. That's the thing with trophies. It's so hard to tell. And I'm not willing to pull them all out and check them, so. Yeah, you know, it's definitely a female, but they hide it so well when they're holding, so. Okay, let's go quick. The breeder boxes are going to be a little sparse because I just had graduation day, moved a lot of the fish, Eastern Happies, in both these containers. These guys just started coming out of their tube. This was a calico bristlenose male. So he's got some different color plecos in here. Looks like some reds, and I've seen a couple blacks too. And my common bristlenose, which people seem to really like because they have a lot of spots on them. Got a big batch of them here. And my bristlenose tank in general, everybody who comes over buys 1 to 3 bristlenose, it seems like. And I think they enjoy them quite a bit because they keep coming back for more. They're healthy and do a good job on cleaning their tanks. So they just got 2 full cans of green beans a couple days ago. That's why the filters are so dirty, and they got a 75% water change. So yeah, this breeder box is empty for once. Moved the multicolored Victorias. This one's empty. This one I just moved and stripped some Sunshine Bangas yesterday. So little teeny tiny Sunshine Banga fry. Haven't had those in a long time. Empty. These are multicolored Victorias in both of these boxes. And I moved a lot of my multicolored Victorias up here with the little loop eyes, and I know 2 different lakes, but the Victorians, when they're juveniles, they don't cause them any problems. It actually acts as a pretty good dither fish. The little loop eyes pick on each other more than they do any of the other smaller fish, so they seem to be pretty aggressive, post-species aggressive, but they are a beautiful fish. And then I got a couple Cyprichromis in here too that seem to be doing just fine with all these little babies in here. So yeah, they're really being quite aggressive. I might have to separate those two. Looks like a couple males. The loop eyes have not. That's one of the only species I haven't bred in this whole fish room. So these guys are going to be hiding from me. Lights are off. Those are the blue golds. And then down there, I know there's algae on the front of it, but this is where I have my little loop eyes. And I believe I have 2 females and a male down here. So this is where I'm trying to breed loop eyes. So I'm hopeful that my last 5 loop eyes I can pull it off. And these are my biggest Geophagus redhead Tapajos. Oh, the glare is just horrible tonight. But some of these are 2.5, 3 inches. They're not growing super fast. A couple of them are. But yeah, they should be breeding soon. And then here's a new tank. If anybody could let me know what kind of barb these are. They're pretty cool. They got that black dot on their back fin. And then it looks like, now don't quote me on this, because this came to me as a bucket of somebody who didn't want community fish. And I believe those are emerald tetras. Maybe. That's just a guess. Maybe they're a different kind of tetra that I don't know about. But I got about 5 of them in there, and then I got, of course, the tiger barbs and 2 glowfish, and I think those are the big Danios, super Danios maybe. They're a super cool fish though. Those are kind of my favorite, and I think there's like 5 of them in there, maybe 4. And then these aggressive guys who want all the food to themselves, those are some kind of a barb, I believe. But just got a warning that my battery's getting low, so let's speed it up. Nothing new in the Taiwan Reef tank. Move over here. So I've moved all the big guys to my 180-gallon cichlid tank down here. So there's some bigger fish down here, and they seem to be getting along just fine. As long as there's a lot of them, they don't beat up on each other. So there's the big, probably 8-inch Dimidochromis strigatus, and got a big boy Venustus in here too. He's probably 8 inches too. And getting along real good, doing fine. So kind of a mixed tank, but yeah, that's my hybrid 180-gallon adult tank. And the breeder dolphins are doing fine. They were holding a couple times. But here are the deep water haps that I moved from a 20-gallon. I wanted to give them some more space and give them a good chance to spawn. And I think they're trying to, so I'm hopeful in the next month maybe I will have deep water haps. It's a really beautiful fish and a really nice group that I got from Chris Grisonics. So shout out to him. And these are the Geophagus brasiliensis, which I put in here with them. And these guys, now that there's more fish in the tank, they have really calmed down. They're not nearly as skittish as they were in that 40-gallon. So everybody's happy, everybody's loving it in this tank. And I really love this tank now with these 2 types of fish in it. The Chipimbis doing real good. Nothing much new there. I got some white lab babies. I think there's maybe 10 of them in here. So the female was super small, but I did manage to get a bunch of fry from her. And I actually had to tumble those. So it was kind of a pain to keep checking the tumbler. And these would be the Dimidochromis Apache juveniles that I stripped just the other day. And these guys need a new home here pretty soon. They're going next in the upgrade list. 5 Interruptus. And down here, these are the VC10s, which have spawned for me. At least 2 of the females were holding, and I think there's 1 holding right now. So the male is finally starting to show some male colors there. And yeah, I'll show you the VC10 babies. A lot of tanks to get through and my battery's dying. So Apache peacocks here and here, just so I have more Apaches. People really like them. These would be Venustus and Christmas Fulus. Those need an upgrade just like the Interruptus. And right here are my first batch of home-raised VC10 fry. So pretty excited about that. And my angelfish are doing just amazing. This would be the second batch of angelfish that I've been raising. Got koi angelfish, and it's the same parents, so they are spitting the gold angelfish gene. They do awesome. They're one of my favorites now. And oh, up here, Fire Ugandas hide in the breeder box. And these are Christmas Fulus, which I showed you earlier. They're the big guys than the Victorians. So yeah, got quite a few different species right now, and just working on them. And these are the same brothers and sisters. I know the tank's dirty, but they get quite a bit of water change every day. Just more gold angelfish and kois. And then here's a new one. I finally got my Kenyis, my Mbuna cichlids to spawn. So I got a bunch of baby Kenyi Mbunas growing up. These aren't that uncommon. You see them in the pet stores all the time. But I think the key is you finally are going to get some hobbyist bred ones, which I never see them in the hobby from somebody who's purposefully breeding them. So these are the Kenyis right here. Really nice fish. The females stay blue with the black vertical stripes, and the males turn that nice yellow color. So definitely male heavy in this tank, and she's holding right there. So 110 gallon dedicated just to these Mbunas, but if anybody wants a male, these guys are close to 4 inches, 3.5 I would say. So these would be up for sale on the website, which USPS is kind of letting me down lately. But if you do express shipping, if you're willing to pay for that, you can have first dibs on any of these fish. I really have not been selling or shipping hardly anything. And these would be the adult Elangi that Aaron White is also, he's getting with the juveniles. And they're doing much better since I took all the decorations out. The male, the only thing he can try to guard is that sponge filter in the back. So he is not nearly being as aggressive towards the rest of the group as he was being. So they've put on some weight, and this guy, he's acting all sad, but as soon as the food comes out, he is healed up immensely. He was pretty much down to no fins. So wake up, bud. Huh. Anyways, I'll take a look at him later. These guys, I finally got another group of babies. I had to pull everybody out of the tank and get all the baby fry out of there. These are the Xenophorus clemenciae, the wild-caught swordtail. And if the glare wasn't so bad, I could give you a better look at them. But they're really pretty swordtail. I got some pictures. Maybe I'll be able to splice those in. These guys just got a big water change. These are the Tropheus green Maragos. I'm thinking about doing the same thing as I did before and kind of remove a bunch of decorations. Just feed them heavy, because if they don't spawn for me, if they get bloat, they do. But maybe they'll spawn for me, maybe they'll get bloat. I guess I just need to roll the dice. I gotta try to do something to get these guys spawning. But they're looking a little better, I think. They're less beat up. Nobody's really getting killed in this tank anymore. I've lost a few fish. Tropheus can be pretty difficult, so nothing much new. These are what the Interruptus look like there when they turn into their male color form. The yellows are the females, and the blues and black, mostly black, are the males. And then these are just Pundamilla nairii up top. Not sure what I'm going to do with that group. I've already sold off 90% of the Pundamilla nairii that I had. And got some grow outs down here. These guys got a 110 gallon, 2 foot long tank for the blue dolphins. And these would be blue gold grow outs with Dimitochromis strigatus. And starting to put on a little bit of size to them. Some of those blue golds like this guy's getting 1.5 inches. So just a waiting game with them. And these are some of the Sunshine Banga peacocks that I stripped last night. So starting to get a couple really nice males here. They're still small, but their colors are awesome and they're breeding. And yeah, they're in a 75 gallon. So this is probably a little bit crowded to ideally grow them to size. They're still growing, but not as fast as they would in like a 200 gallon tank or something like that. So Sunshine Bangas, and then here's my first batch of angelfish. They followed me around just like the blue dolphins did. So over here, guys. And inside with them are Neolamprologus cygnus, and they're getting pretty good sized. Those are probably 2.5 inch cygnus. I mean, this is a 110 gallon tank packed full of plants. And yeah, those might be future breeders if anybody's looking for the biggest Neolamprologus cygnus that I have. That's a Lake Tanganyikan rare species that you probably won't find anywhere else. I do have those on the website. What I have on the website, these are the black bar endlers. So many of them. They just do so good in this tank. And so does this Java moss. I kind of wrapped it around this piece of cholla wood, and it's doing amazing. And in here are the blue-tailed Goodeids. There's only 4 of them, but it looks like that female in the back is pregnant. So I'm hopeful that I'll get some of these rare Goodeids pretty soon. And I turned this 40 gallon tank into a grow out. I got Yellow Blaze lithobates. I also have 5 of my biggest white lab. These are Nakata Bay white Labidochromis mabunas. Let's see if I can zoom in on the. And they just do better when there's bigger schools of fish. You know, cichlids watch cichlids. So if the other fish aren't scared, they're not as scared. That's why big schools seem to do better in aquariums, my opinion. And I also have that are going to be hiding. They come out to eat hippo point salmon. They all hang out right in the back of that rock. And down here, these are starting to get some size to them. These are all my jumpers from the 180 gallon boxes. And then in here, starting to get some pretty nice OB peacocks. I don't know if you can see some of the colors on these. But OBs, and then dragon bloods, and then blue dragon bloods, which is what that guy will be. When he gets a little more size, you can get blue, kind of like a red shoulder peacock, which is just another name for a hybrid. They try to sell it to you as a red shoulder, but you know, for people who don't know, it's just another hybrid peacock. And then these will be my Neolamprologus cygnus that are for sale. Just about an inch on these guys. Beautiful fish, though. Doing amazing. They get brine shrimp every day. And this was the biggest batch I've ever had, and managed to keep alive to this size. I mean, they're the size of a speck almost when they're born. They're super small, just like a guppy. But feed them brine shrimp, and it doesn't take them too long to get to a real nice size. And these are my breeder Labidochromis Nakata Bays. These are the white labs, and they're still a little skittish in there. And my Pundamilla macrocephala, which I counted 6 females the other day, and I just placed an order through Imperial Tropicals for 1 fish. Never paid this much for a fish in my life, plus shipping. I believe the order was $75, and I got a pound of his pellets. But yeah, just 1 male Pundamilla macrocephala. So that'll be a black fish with red around his fins and everything. And I trust Imperial Tropicals. This will be the first purchase that I've done, and that fish should be arriving tomorrow to go with these females, which yeah, super excited to have 1 more breeding group here. And the females have been doing awesome. They've been growing out in here, so it just makes sense for me to get the Pundamilla male and add him to the tank. And hopefully he doesn't beat up the white labs too much, because that one's been goofy for quite a while. He swims really funny, but he's a male, and he still tries to bully the other male in the tank. But I think he's got a swim bladder problem. But yeah, he's kind of a goofball. But they're a really pretty fish. I wish the camera would zoom in on them. They are just really shiny and sparkly. So the muck guppy tank's doing just fine. A lot of plants, got a lot of hornwort growing and Vallisneria, and some really pretty guppies in here. Sold a few of them recently, but you might get, if you buy a mixed guppy bag from me, you might get 1 or 2 out of this tank. You might get a yellow. You know, you're gonna get a mixed color of really nice muck guppies, and they won't all be mutts. But if you're looking for a mixed male bag of guppies, I can get you a really nice one with everything I have, with Endlers, guppies, yellows, blues, all that stuff. So I know I didn't hit everything. I didn't touch on the upstairs tanks, which have changed a little bit, or the outside tubs. But I just wanted to do a nice video, just a quick one, get a July video in here, even though it's been a rough month for me. But I can finally start walking around on my foot, and I'm gonna spare you the gory details and the wound on top of my foot, because it's kind of gross. So I will talk to everybody later. I hope everybody's doing all right. I hope your fish are doing great, and got to come up with a catchphrase, stay fishy or something. Talk to everyone later. Bye.